let's just see how this thing goes, right?
Shall we?
Right. Oh. Look, there it goes.
Boom, there it is.
Boom. There it is. Is it there? I don't know. Goodness.
You had to reduce the resolution, huh?
I did.
Two minutes.
Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world. Ugh.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream, fuck you!
All righty.
Surprise, it's Kid Rock. Earworm Wednesday. That'll get you going.
Jeez. All right, here we go.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I was busy eating this delicious meal from preparewithmojo50.com. You look hungry. Do you want some? Of course you do. Get your own. You can go to preparewithmojo50.com. That's preparewithmojo50.com. You can't have mine.
Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Brad Staggs. Almighty Mojo 50.
Well, here we are. We've made it to Earworm Wednesday, and the world still makes absolutely no sense.
At all.
At all, completely. It is out of control. Kid Rock has a new song. You may have just heard a piece of it. Or you may not have heard a piece of it. The vaccine is still in the news. As a matter of fact, it is now official. The fully vaccinated now account for the majority of the Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, that would be in Wyoming, the majority of their patients. And that's happening more and more. The majority of people in the hospital are fully vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated. So they will try to spin that in, well, you know exactly how they will spin that. In the meantime, we also have news. Oh, where did she go? She can't have gotten far because we need to see, or actually we need to hear from Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, you know, she made the big announcement yesterday. You didn't see the
I didn't see anything.
You didn't hear the big you didn't see the big announcement?
I did not.
Oh, she is not going gently into that good night. No. She is Nancy is running once again for re-election. She is. Look,
She likes that power grab.
You
Power
think
hold.
that's what it is? You think it's just about the power? I think
Of
it's
course
about.
it is.
She loves the people. She loves the people. She wants to make sure that she can get up there back into Washington and really, I was going to say stick it to them, but I don't think that's quite the word. She wants to be able to help the children. That's what it's all about. She needs to help the kids.
Isn't that a Michael Jackson song or something?
Possibly.
Oh, no. Sorry.
It's,
We are the children.
that's We Are the World.
Oh, sorry.
You were very close.
There is a We Are the Children in there, isn't there?
Yes, we are the world. We are the children. We are
Thank
the
you.
ones
Okay.
who make a brighter day. So let's start giving.
Yeah.
Which
there you
really
go.
kind of frightens me that I know the lyrics to that particular song. So Nancy was she put this video online and I mean, I don't know how you could miss it. So here is Nancy explaining what she's doing.
It's Nancy. Thank you for the opportunity to share some thoughts with you, our VIPs, our volunteers in politics, in our ongoing engagement for the people. Thank you for being a constant source of new, fresh ideas and political activism to help Democrats deliver and to defend democracy. Thank you for giving me the privilege to represent our city and our San Francisco values in the Congress. Human rights, reproductive justice, LGBTQ equality, respect for immigrants, and care for each other.
Care for each other, unless, of course, you are on the opposite side of the aisle, in which case, F off.
When people ask me what are the three most important issues facing the Congress,
What do you think the three most important things facing Congress are? If you had to guess. Three most important things.
COVID-19,
All right.
Donald Trump, how to stay in office for the rest of my life.
Oh, you're so close, but not quite.
I always say the same thing.
Same thing.
Our children, our children, our children.
It's all about the children.
Oh, my God.
It's all about the children. It's
Their health, their education, the housing and economic security of their families, a clean, safe environment in which they can thrive, and a world at peace and where they are all welcome and in which
Right.
they can reach their fulfillment.
right.
That is my why I am in Congress.
No, it's for insider trading, and we all know that. Which it's funny to watch the responses to her video. Why did Martha Stewart go to prison for insider trading and Nancy Pelosi has not? Why isn't there mandatory retirement? Shouldn't there be at age 80? The party of Let's Go Brandon can spare me the faux outrage over Joe Biden's comment toward Peter Doocy. I can't stop thinking about how outrageous it is that we allow members of Congress to trade stocks. How does this woman get reelected every year? I mean,
Because nobody
every
else
election.
wants that shit job.
A shit job. She makes bank on the insider stock trades.
I'm sure she does.
I mean, there's even there's a Twitter account. What is it? Nancy's Insider Trading, something, and they track basically everything every time she makes money off a stock trade. And the woman she's as big a criminal as Joe Biden. We have criminals running the country. Kind of depressing when you think about it, isn't it? I mean,
Not surprising, but
not
depressing,
surprising,
yes.
but a little bit depressing.
I said, brother, if you only knew, you'd wish that you were in my shoes. You just keep on using me
That's what they're doing to us.
until you use me up.
I have a suggestion for Earworm Wednesday. Late great Bill Withers.
Until you use me up.
Do you use me?
Until we are mere husks of our former selves.
Sometimes
You think they'll shut us down for that one?
They're going to shut us down for damn near anything these
That's
days.
true. That's a good point. Use the hashtag What I Learned Today to take part in the program. It is, after all,
We're on both of our YouTube channels today, by the way.
really,
For at least a period of time. Yes.
they put us back up.
Yeah, they put us back up.
Wow, that was. I don't know if that
We were
was
down
smart.
2 weeks.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we got a
as
2-week slap on the wrist.
Buck and Clay were taken down on the YouTube, as was Bongino. So we're in good company. Let's see. Tony in Ohio retweeted CNN. More than 20 COVID-19 cases have been identified aboard an Australian Navy ship sailing to disaster-hit Tonga, complicating the aid efforts to the virus-free Pacific island. So the island of Tonga, there are no COVID-19 cases. Now, what are they going to do?
That's because they just blew that shit completely out of the water. Literally.
Japan has had to stop its relief mission due to an outbreak among their crew members. So they're going to have a shitload of boats around Tonga, but no one will be able to approach Tonga. This is Stinky Biscuit. I thought the three most important things were going to be the word, and the word is good. And
The
original
word.
Georgia Peach retirement. Nancy, I swear she is. If she's not losing her dentures, something's going on. When you watch her talk, and when you hear her say opportunity or try to say it, something is horribly, horribly wrong. And Kamikaze Dodo Slug. Oh, welcome back. You haven't been around in a while. Nancy likes screwing the people. I think that is what you meant to say. That's exactly right. Also, Rebel Patriot Nasty can start by not supporting infanticide. Isn't that amazing?
Nasty.
Isn't that amazing that someone can stand up there and in the same sentence say it's all about the children and I support what did she call it? Reproductive. How did she phrase it? Blah blah blah. Anyway, reproductive justice or something along those lines. It's just a nice way to say abortion. I support the children, once they pop out. Before that, no, not so much. These people. The older I get, the more disgusted I get. Let's see here. Our first sponsor of the program, American Pride Roasters, over at AmericanPrideRoasters.com. If you ordered coffee within the past week or so, good news. They're catching up on the orders. Thank you for your patience. That's a special message from DM directly to you. It's right there on the front page of American Pride Roasters. You need to go ahead and order your supply right now before the apocalypse hits. I'm not saying that it's going to be, that it's going to shut down American Pride Roasters, the apocalypse. I'm just saying it's better to be prepared than to find yourself, with your pants down around your ankles. I mean,
True
Ron,
that.
you know that feeling, right?
I do.
You've been there many times.
Many times.
Yeah. So at American Pride Roasters, you will be able to choose, obviously, from the first Thanksgiving. It's still available. I mean, even though it's not Thanksgiving, it is still around. It's a pumpkin spice. You got Brad's Brown Bag, which is a delightful blend of beans from, I think Africa? Africa, Eurasia.
Yeah.
Did you know you had beans in Eurasia?
No.
You should check that more often.
I should look in my
You should
Asia.
comb Eurasia and just see if you can get those beans out. And the Americas. Plus, one of my personal favorites is Ron Sexual Chocolate, as you are well aware. So
Thank
go
you.
to AmericanPrideRoasters.com and make sure that you are plenty stocked just in case the fit hits the shan in the coming days.
And it will.
And believe me, it is gonna. It's not a question of if, but when. And just ask Michelle Fallon. She is the woman up in Pennsylvania who decided she was going to help the disastrous monkey trailer. Now, we told you the story about the monkeys who got loose on the interstate in Pennsylvania that had landed in New York on their way to. Now, early versions of the story said they were on their way to a CDC-approved quarantine facility in Florida. 100 monkeys aboard aboard this trailer being pulled by a pickup truck. The pickup truck on Route 54 turns in front of an 18-wheeler. 18-wheeler hits said pickup truck. Monkeys scatter. Now, the story says only 3 or 4 monkeys got loose. Apparently, Michelle Fallon, she saw the accident happen. She gets out of her car, gets out of her car. She goes up. She's talking to the driver of the pickup truck, who tells her that he's hauling cats. She goes over, decides to pet one of the cats. It's in a box. Why you would stick your finger into a cage, I don't know. She finds out it is, in fact, a monkey who's pretty pissed off. The monkey's hissing at her. She says there's monkey shit everywhere. She's walking in poop. She says, I tried to pet one of them. Not sure about
she thought it was a cat.
Even if it is a cat.
Why would you go poking your fingers in a freaking...
Well, and let me, especially if it's a cat. You don't stick your finger in the cage of a... You don't stick your finger in a cage. Period.
Period.
Yeah, it's just, that's not a smart thing to do. So, cops get there. She's told to monitor herself for exposure because she has an open wound on her hand. I mean, the layers of stupid on this thing they're stacking up. Well, she now has symptoms that are COVID symptoms. She said on her, I guess it was her Facebook page, it was a day from hell. She said, the monkey did hiss at me. There were feces around. I did have an open cut. They just want to be precautious, saying that the CDC also contacted her.
Did you read her entire message?
No, do you have it in front of you?
I don't have it in front of me. I read it yesterday, but it was very difficult to read because she doesn't write very well. And for them to put SIC behind all of the words that needed to be spelling is corrected. Oh, right. God bless her.
Well, she is, from the latest update, she is apparently taking rabies meds, which are not pleasant.
Okay.
That in rabies, they still have to give you the shot in the stomach, right?
Shoot if I know, dude.
I think that rabies is one of those diseases that when you have to get the treatment, it's not pleasant because it goes on for a few days. She looks like a reasonably intelligent woman. Remember, she approached the monkeys after after officials had said, hey, don't go near them, don't look at them, don't try to pet the monkey, don't monkey with the monkey, just stay away from the monkeys. And yet she decided she was going to go up there. I was close to the monkeys. I touched the crates. I walked through their feces, so I was very close. She opted to go to the hospital because she had an open cut. She started developing pink eye symptoms, which she feared may have been linked to the monkeys. At this point, you don't know what the hell you have.
Correct.
You've stuck your finger in a monkey cage. She was given an initial dose of rabies vaccine. She also has to take antiviral medication for the next 2 weeks. The monkeys had just arrived from Africa. There is going to be, if this woman, and I hope she's going to be okay, but would it surprise you if something, I'm not even going to say it. All I'm going to say is this may not end well. May not end well. What the hell were these monkeys doing in New York if they were headed to Florida? And just leave it right there. Michelle Fallon and I guess has she been getting a lot of friend requests on her Facebook page?
Hell if I know.
I would think so. I would think a lot of people are now following Michelle Fallon on her Facebook page. Yeah.
We do have people. We have people that are interested in the story, obviously, because they're sending us stuff. But and it's kind of weird. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
Who's sending us stuff? Where are they sending it?
email.
Oh, sorry.
You're getting it. Yeah, you're getting
Am
it.
I? Let's see here. Where are they? I don't see it.
Look for K.
Okay. Can you just read it?
Let me get over here.
Just saying.
Well, yeah, but you could have given me a heads up.
Well, you didn't give me a heads up.
I'm just saying.
So there are a lot of people.
Woman who came into contact with escaped monkey says, okay, so this is a copy of the Epic Times story. Mm-hmm. All right, so here's here's what she says. Mm-hmm. What a day! I tried to help out at a accident scene, SEEN. Was told there were cats in the crates, so I over to pet them to find out it's monkeys. Then I noticed that there are 3 in each, and I was completely broken. The other was half broken. So I knew 4 got away. So come home, go to bed. My aunt runs into news crew, was asked to do interview, then find out not to get close to the monkey.
Which, again, Peter Gabriel told us many years ago.
Shock it. Shock that son of a bitch.
Shock the monkey, and don't you monkey with a monkey.
Well, tried to pet one. I touched the crates and walk in poop. Then was told to met police at the scene to talk about exposure. News crews was there. I thought they were Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or I thought they were CDC. So I to them, end up doing interviews. Talk to police and lady with CDC. I'm will getting a letter. I'm very low risk for I don't know what yet.
What if she wrote? What if prior to this whole incident she wrote perfectly, and this is a reaction, or this is a result of her exposure to whatever the hell those monkeys had.
Maybe she went to the emergency room. She said, because the monkey did hiss at me and there were feces around and I did have an open cut,
right?
They just want to be precautious.
I don't know. This may not end well for Michelle Fallon. I hope it does.
Yeah.
I hope she's fine. But once you stick your finger into the cage,
into the monkey stuff,
you never know what's going to happen.
She got the way to move me, Jerry. She got the way to move me, Jerry, baby. She got the way to move me. All right. She got the way to move me.
81 years old today. Neil Diamond.
That's definitely going to get us yanked.
It's going to get us yanked? That's all
Neil
it takes?
Diamond? Come on, dude.
Oh, that kind of yank.
Yeah, oh, I got you.
Gotcha. Again, you have a suggestion, let us know. We will promptly ignore said suggestion here for Earworm Wednesday. In China, they have re-edited the end of Fight Club.
What? Why?
Because this time the authorities win. This is bizarre. Fight Club has been given a different ending in China. This time the authorities win. Chinese fans of the classic were enraged over the weekend when they noticed a version of the movie available on popular Chinese streaming platform Tencent Video completely removes the iconic ending. The finale of Fight Club shocked audiences when it hit the theaters in '99. Lord have mercy, it's been, 23 years?
Oh, yeah.
Holy. In a massive twist, the narrator, by the way, spoiler alert, played by Edward Norton, realizes Brad Pitt's slick-talking Tyler Durden character is his imaginary alter ego. You knew that, right, Ron?
I did. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did.
And kills him off. In the final scene, the narrator stands with his girlfriend as they watch explosives blow up the cluster of skyscrapers, all part of what was originally presented to the audience as Durden's plan to destroy consumerism by erasing bank and debt records. See, there was obviously a subliminal message in this movie, which I wasn't smart enough to pick up on. To me, it was just Fight Club. To me, it was just, people punching each other. But, there was a capitalist angle to the whole thing. So that amount of anarchy and the government's inability to stop it, apparently the Chinese did not like it in the version now available. The entire scene featuring the explosions has been cut out. It's been replaced with a caption explaining to audiences that the authorities arrived just in time to save the day. We are in hell. Through the clue provided by Tyler, police rapidly figured out the whole plan and arrested all the criminals, successfully preventing the bomb from exploding. The caption reads, after the trial, Tyler was sent to a lunatic asylum receiving psychological treatment. He was discharged from the hospital in 2012. Amazing. So, well, surprising? No. Amazing? Yes. They will do anything. They will do absolutely anything. They being the socialists,
Correct.
and the communists. And a bill has been introduced in Washington State to legalize the therapeutic use of mushrooms, known as magic mushrooms, for the treatment of behavioral health problems. Senator Jesse Solomon introduced the bill. It's 5660. The Washington Psilocybin Wellness and Opportunity Act, which is modeled after a similar law passed in Oregon in 2020, which goes into effect in 2023. Good. In 2019, Denver was the first U.S. city to decriminalize psychedelic mushrooms. Seattle decriminalized magic mushrooms last October. The Washington law is entering the second year of a 2-year phase-in and would differ from Oregon's in that doctor or licensed counselors would not be the ones required to prescribe psilocybin. It would be available not just for therapeutic use, but also for creative purposes. Good.
Okay.
Should you not be able to partake of magic mushrooms?
You should be able to.
I think so, too. You can drink alcohol.
They're starting to say if they're making pot legal and
pot's legal, why not mushrooms? I mean, again, the libertarian side of me, legalize it all. You go and do something stupid.
let the
or illegal.
dumbasses weed themselves out.
Exactly. It's going to have to be just like the laws for alcohol. You go out, you get in your car, you drive into somebody or something, you are held liable. Why not? It's that's all part of being responsible for yourself and hopefully not being a dumbass when it comes to interacting with other people.
True.
That's the libertarian side of me meeting the capitalist in me. Hashtag what I learned today to be a part of the insanity that the world has become. And we will continue. We don't have a guest next, do we?
No. Second hour.
Good. That's your Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the four.
Yeah, we got Brandon in the second hour. We're supposed
For
to.
some reason, I was thinking we had somebody in the first, but we don't. Excuse me while I get some more water.
I did add a chat room to the Mojo 50 TV page
Aren't you sweet?
this morning. There you go.
Hold on a second.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to run all the way to the break room. The shitload of quarters to get a water out of the machine.
Paul Yeager. Love you, bro.
What did he
Yeah.
say?
I don't know. He said, love you, bro.
Who doesn't
So,
love you?
That's right. I'm not sure why he loves me, but it may be the chat room on Mojo 50 TV. It's the same one we used to use a while back. It's a subscription platform, but I've got it set so that yeah, thanks, Paul. He says about the chat. Yes. So it's he said, get me out of Facebook. Yeah, I hope you're able to use it. I think the way it's set up, if you're using a mobile phone, you can watch the video at the top and chat right below it. So,
If what? Well, on which? On the website? On
yeah,
Mojo?
Mojo50.com. Facebook.com/Mojo50TV. All right.
If you thought he'd come up with your say, probably. Damn it. No, you said, I don't know.
That's Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time on Mojo 50 Radio.
The Daily Mojo.
It is fairly obvious what the White House is doing to Florida. If you are not aware yet, the White House and the FDA have cut off the supply of monoclonal antibodies to Florida. Apparently, it's just one set of them.
Yeah, but didn't they end up shutting down facilities?
Yeah, they did, because I guess Florida was using this particular set of monoclonal antibodies. There's a different set that can be had in other places, but in Florida, they were using primarily the one set. I'm not sure the two drug companies that manufacture these, but this is the response from the White House when asked, "Hey, what's going on here? Why'd you take away their monoclonal antibodies?"
Yesterday withdrew the EUA for some monoclonal antibody treatments because they don't work against Omicron. But Florida continues to push for the treatment for people in the state. What's your response to Governor DeSantis, and what's your message to the people of Florida?
Well, let's just take a step back here just to realize how crazy this is a little bit. We've approached COVID treatments like filling a medicine cabinet. We're not relying on one type, one brand, or treatment. We invested in and continue to buy a variety across monoclonal antibodies, pre-exposure prevention therapies, and oral antivirals. We have provided 71,000 doses of antivirals to Florida, including 34,000 additional treatments that do work against Omicron. Just this last week, of a range of those treatments, I should say, to be clear. What the FDA is making clear is that these treatments, the ones that they are fighting over, that the governor is fighting over, do not work against Omicron, and they have side effects. That is what the scientists are saying. We have sent them 71,000 doses of treatments that are effective against Omicron and are effective also against Delta. And they are still advocating for treatments that don't work. We've seen, unfortunately, from the beginning in our pandemic response, a range of steps or pushes that have been made through social media platforms, unfortunately from the mouths of elected officials, and the advocating for things that don't work, even when we know things do work. Injecting disinfectant, promoting other pseudoscience.
See, right there proves that the rest of what she said is horseshit. Injecting disinfectant. That was the Trump thing when he talked about, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was, how do we get that, it wasn't a stupid question the way he phrased it. What they're doing is obviously this is retribution to against Florida and DeSantis for being Florida and Ron DeSantis. What side effects do the monoclonal antibodies have? Have you heard of anything?
I haven't heard of any. I mean, I'm sure there's something, but I haven't heard of any.
Nah, neither have I. It's funny though. We've heard of all kinds of side effects from the vaccine.
Or remdesivir.
And yet they haven't pulled those, but they will pull this one treatment that's being used. And apparently, how do we know it's not effective against Omicron? Asking for a friend. I did an interview yesterday with a man by the name of Ron Love, who is the CEO of the DFW Hospital Council. I filled in for Rick Roberts over on WBAP, and when I'm there, I feel like I have to edit myself. I cannot be as open as I can be here on this program because it's not my show. I'm merely keeping the seat warm until the owner of the show gets back into it. Plus, Cumulus Media is a
powerhouse. And they get to control your content,
right? And I'm not going to go into somebody's house and shit all over it. That's not polite.
Not a good plan.
Yeah. Well, and it's not about not getting hired back. That's not what it's about. I just don't think that's the right thing to do. It's not polite. You don't go into somebody's house and, start doing your own thing. I think you have to respect where the situation and the environment that you're in. His take on the whole thing was that the Omicron, we're probably approaching the peak of Omicron. Going to be on the depth, but we can't let our guard down, and still get the vaccine, even though haven't they said that the vaccine is not efficient or effective against the Omicron? Again, we keep getting all of this conflicting information, but
well, I don't know that they've said that it's not effective.
All right, what have you
because
heard?
My guess is they're not going to say that it's not effective because they don't want to turn people off from the vaccines.
Right. Well,
so I don't think that they've said that it's not effective. I think that they say that if you've got the vaccine, the Omicron symptoms will be less. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
No, it doesn't, because people are getting it and they're dying. And researchers, here we go. This is from Yahoo News, which admittedly would lean left. This is from December. These vaccines won't protect against Omicron, new research shows. As time passes and the Omicron variant continues to spread, more information becoming available on the latest version of the virus and how it differs from its predecessors. Studies are now shedding more light on initial concerns about it being more transmissible and whether or not it's more likely to cause severe illness in some people. But new research has also found that some currently available vaccines aren't able to protect against infection with Omicron as well as they had with previous variants. Okay. Now you combine that with the fact that we have seen that there are side effects with the vaccine, myocarditis, and quite frankly, who knows what else. I don't know if you can trust the VAERS database anymore or not. But if that's the case, why are they not doing the same thing with the vaccine? If it is, as Peppermint Patty said with the monoclonal antibodies, if it's not effective against this variant and there are side effects, if that is your basis, then shouldn't you be pulling the vaccine? I mean, the gene therapy, whatever the hell you want to call it. The jab, the drug, experimental therapy. No, of course not. They're not going to do that. This is about slamming Florida and Ron DeSantis and anybody who supports him. I mean, at this point, the people who don't see that the government is waging war against us, like the woman yesterday who the reporter asked her, why are you getting the vaccine? Because I'm not a selfish bastard.
Mm-hmm.
She's never going to get it. Those are the people never going to get it. We need to be talking to the people. That I mean, everybody that's listening, find those that are on the fence, that still aren't quite sure what's going on, and make sure they know that we're being lied to. That's what they're doing over in England. Businesses in Wales are demanding vaccine passport exemptions after the government has failed to provide any evidence that the whole scheme prevents the spread of COVID-19. And this is the whole thing with the bars and nightclubs. The COVID passes in Wales were introduced in October. They applied to nightclubs as well as indoor non-seated events for more than 500 people and outdoor events of more than 4,000. In response to the Omicron outbreak, in December, pubs were also restricted to the rule of 6. Is that the social distance thing?
I don't know.
Stay 6 feet away from 6 people. You could only get table service. Nightclubs were ordered to close. What in the absolute hell does the government have against nightclubs? Bars. What is it? I mean, despite restrictions supposedly being lifted later this week, nightclubs, cinemas, and theaters will still be forced to demand COVID passports. So what happened was there was a Freedom of Information Act. I didn't even know they had this in England.
In a different country.
But surprise. It was sent to the Welsh government asking for any and all data that the government had used to develop the restrictions announced in December. So why did you put these restrictions in place? Show us the evidence. This should include, but not be limited to, statistical information regarding numbers of COVID cases developed from nightclubs. All right, so if you've got information, if you've got studies that show that 9 out of 10 people are, getting soused, as my dad used to say, getting soused at a nightclub and licking all over other people and catching the Rona. All right, I guess that's a good indicator that might be a big spreader. It should also be statistical information surrounding the rates of transmission from businesses to be impacted by the one-way system rule, minutes of the meeting, and all of those in attendance held on the 16th of December, blah, blah, blah. Here was the government's response to that freedom of the FOIA request. Quote, "This information is not available. There is no guarantee about where someone caught COVID-19. Therefore, there is no data on cases caught in specific locations," end quote. So all of this shit was random. And I guarantee you it was the same way here. They don't have any... I mean, did you ever see a study that said people were more likely to get COVID because they went to a bar?
Nope.
Because they were licking all over somebody in a bar? I mean, who doesn't like to look all over people in a bar, right?
No, but when you drink, your inhibitions get weaker.
Oh, you're just repeating the company line.
And then you got to get up closer to the person so they can hear you because it's louder in the bar.
Yeah.
So you're not separated by a table. You cozy on up next to them. So you're breathing in somebody's face.
Uh-huh.
Then you're slobbering on them, and you know how that gets.
You know this from personal experience.
Negative.
Uh-huh. Like last weekend. Right. So shouldn't the rule be that any place that is over 80 decibels, any place because the same would apply. You'd have to get up closer to somebody to be able to hear them.
That's right.
So any place that is loud, you'd have to apply the same rules to. It is random horseshit, is what it is, and more people, I think, are now starting to see this. Publican? Is that somebody who owns a pub? Or is that a political affiliation?
Publican?
Publican. I don't know. Publican.
Let's see. Is that a publican? A person who owns or manages a pub.
Son of a... I was right.
Or in ancient Roman, in biblical times, a collector of taxes. Yeah, about the same.
Close. Publican John Bassett told Wales Online the response to the FOIA request was unbelievable and clearly shows that the restrictions are not justified. Yep. So at least they're pushing back in Wales. I would have thought there would have been more evidence for them to do it. I just don't get it. He added, I think there's a lot of danger because it's been a dreadful 2 months. The concern we've got now is if there's another variant come December this year and it happens again, I just fear we're in a loop. That's exactly where we are. As a matter of fact, guess what? There is a new variant of Omicron. Have you heard about this one?
Is it the B?
Yep.
What's it, B?
It's the B. It is the B. That's B for bitch. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment after Ron pontificates a bit on a bomb. You can say bomb on the radio.
It's
bomb.
Yeah, that.
I mean, it's not a real bomb. Technically,
it's not a real bomb.
It shouldn't be a real bomb.
No, it's a gentleman he's I guess welding together a look-alike bomb as a gift for a retiring U.S. Marine Corps EOD specialist or explosive ordnance disposal retiree. And so he brought it over to the house yesterday, and I engraved with my company and RomikaDesigns.com.
Wow.
And
finally got that in there. Good.
Yeah, I did. And I engraved it with the fiber laser yesterday, and it turned out fine. It turned out great.
Now, did I hear you say you had someone come to your house? This is a guy
Decorative.
You just round,
decorative bomb.
He found you.
It was a
online,
business meeting. That's correct.
And just came to your house.
That's correct. It's the only place where my laser is.
So
after we talked on the phone quite a bit, I offered for him to come by because he was bringing me something as well, which was scrap metal that I needed to be able to practice on. And because he was a welder by trade, he had it available. So I said, let's barter, because I'm into bartering. I like to barter because there's always something I need. And so, he brought it by the house yesterday, and we sat and we talked and had a good conversation. And he's going to bring me more business, and I'm going to push business his way. So
are you
worked out well.
Are you going to put this the picture of this bomb out there, or is this like proprietary?
I probably will after he finishes it, because he's got to go back and put the fins on it and everything.
Okay.
Finish the welding and
keep it a
and
secret
dress
for
it
now.
up. Yeah.
All
Yeah, because I don't want somebody to see it that's not supposed to see it yet. But anyhow, it was fun to do. Now he said he will be posting it on his social media, and as soon as he posts it out there, then I'll put it on mine. So.
Well, all righty. So for the
Romika Designs,
and just if you want to, just stop by Ron's house. Just
probably not a good plan unless you're invited. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that.
I mean,
it was evident to him yesterday.
We know that they're
very evident to him that I am a pro 2A person.
Some other folks have just shown up at your house.
There we go.
It's never a good idea to show up unannounced at someone's house. Just leave it there. But you can show up unannounced at romikadesigns.com.
Yes.
That would be the easiest thing to do. See, it would be that would be essentially what you'd be doing if you showed up unannounced at the house. Is living your life in one day,
giving up on yourself.
Pretty much. So stop at romikadesigns.com. See what they're saying over in the so many buttons, so little time. Oblivion Flickering says the new voting rights bill will allow dead Democrats to vote so long as they return to graves that are 6 feet apart and 6 feet deep. That would be the rule of sixes. Wade Robertson, I think they close bars to keep people sick. Hear me out. I usually have a glass of bourbon at night. Have done that regularly since the pandemic started. Never got sick. I stopped doing that for a week and got the Rona. Go figure. I mean, it's possible. Here's the other. I think everybody is going to get this. When I used to hear people saying that, I thought, that's kind of crazy. I think this is going to infect every human being on the planet. Which, have we ever had? I mean, I know the Spanish flu was pretty rampant, and we had a much smaller population. World population back then.
Yep.
I don't know that off the top of my head what the world population was in 1920, but I'm about to tell you as I kill a little bit of time. 1920, the entire world population.
5 billion.
Is that what it was?
No, I'm just asking.
I think it's 1,912,000,000.
Really? 1.9 billion? In 1920.
Yeah.
And it's 7 billion now.
Yeah. So, we're dealing with quite a few fewer people. But I think literally everyone on the planet is going to get this. Do you know anybody who has not gotten sick yet? I'm trying to think if I know anybody who hasn't had it. And I'm not sure that I do.
I used to. I mean, I did before Christmas know a lot of people who hadn't gotten sick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether or not they've gotten, Omicron or COVID, period, I don't know. But almost everybody I know has been sick since Christmas.
Right. I mean, me too. And not, and healthy people. I mean, people who, work out and I mean, look at Wade. I mean, there's a fine specimen of a male human. Not that, you have a crush on him or anything, Ron.
Yeah.
But no, I'm serious. People who work out, people who take care of themselves, and they're getting it too. Tell me this thing is not engineered. Well, the Spanish flu wasn't engineered. How do you know? Well, they didn't even know what it was back then, so I doubted it was. So that was Mother Nature at her finest, and now we have Dr. Fauci at his finest. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, I got an email this morning. Thank you, Beaver. Brad got it too, about Operation Sea Spray. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, but remind me, that was off of the San Francisco coast, right?
Correct. A 1950 U.S. Navy secret biological warfare experiment.
Yep.
In which Serratia, I don't know, 2 different bacteria were sprayed over the San Francisco Bay Area in order to determine how vulnerable a city like San Francisco may be to a bioweapon. The military did this without notification to anybody that people were going to get sick and have to show up at a hospital.
And what year was that? That was in the 50s or 60s?
1950.
So they've been doing this for decades.
In 1977, a Senate subcommittee revealed that between 49 and 69 open-air tests of biological agents were conducted 239 times. In 80 of those experiments, the Army said it used live bacteria. In the 50s, Army research dispersed Serratia. Army researchers dispersed zinc cadmium sulfide in the 50s. I mean, this is just 1966. Military researchers in New York spread Bacillus. Oh, I don't know.
Icky stuff.
Icky stuff, dude.
And why would they? I mean, well, but that was then. And, now they don't do that sort of thing anymore.
In 1965, a secret release of this bacteria at the Washington National Airport and its Greyhound Lines bus terminal. More than 130 passengers were exposed.
I mean, if you told me today that this was some sort of a plan that Fauci and his cronies put together, would not surprise me at all.
Yeah.
The World Health Organization now has issued a COVID warning as 426 cases of the new stealth Omicron subvariant were found in the UK. The subvariant is called the BA.2 strain. It has been formally classified as a variant under investigation by the UK Health Security Agency. As of the 22nd of January, which is 4 days ago, at least 40 countries have detected this Omicron sublineage since November of last year. There's what we know so far. There are 426 cases across the country. The cases remain low. The variant, which is a substrain of Omicron, may be more transmissible than the original Omicron. Hey. This is going to go on forever. It's going to go on forever.
I hate to say it this way, but this is one of the thoughts I had one of those nights I couldn't sleep. What if they're just trying to classify the common cold as it's happened over the millions of years? You know what I'm saying?
And how would we know if they were? That's the
we
problem.
We don't know. We don't know.
We have no idea.
What if all this has been happening over years and years and years? But we all just thought it was a common cold, and some people get through it, and other people with comorbidities don't. But now they're trying to classify the damn thing. And then they're realizing, oh, shit.
That's a
this
problem.
This isn't just a common thing. This is multiple variants of this crazy-ass whatever.
We have no idea what the truth is.
No, we don't.
That's the biggest problem with all of this, because the crud that I've had twice back in 2020 that I said, whatever I've had, I said at the time, whatever I had, I'd had it before, which apparently had left me with some form of pneumonia or something. And then this time, which was, 4 days of feeling like hammered horse shit, followed by 3 days in the hospital, feeling like I was behind enemy lines, which is really, again, bizarre because that's happening more and more. I mean, what if this is the same thing that I've been having, the past 10 years? Because we've all had that where you feel like crap for a couple of days and you get over it and you move on.
Yep.
If it's, was it the flu? At least it's not the stomach flu. So in this country, I don't know that we've had the BA2, which now all I can think of is bare ass. Omicron they say Omicron is acting like a super booster. People who have gotten Omicron are going to be really well protected against infection, not just disease, moving forward. Ooh. Who said that? That was according to the World Health Organization. So maybe that's good news. Once you get the super duper subvariant of Omicron, you have super duper immunity. Do we get Spidey powers too? Because if we get Spidey powers, I'm in. Aren't you?
That'd be cool. Yeah, I want to climb on walls.
I'd be okay with that. Which, have you seen that? Was it the Liberty?
Yes.
You're supposed to sing Liberty.
Oh, Liberty.
Thank you. The one where he has a spider, and he says, "I'm going to see if this works," and he gets bitten and his face gets swollen. You've not seen that one?
No, I don't guess.
It's kind of weird. It's like, I'm surprised they put that out.
They've started calling the emu Limu now.
He's Limu.
I know, but I've never heard them use the name Limu in the commercials up until recently.
Well, that's his name. And Doug.
Yeah.
And Doug, who apparently is not all that bright, especially if he's going to be, letting a spider bite him. Let's see here. Oblivion flickering. So why does pretty pickled in pink Pelosi draw cat ears above her eyes? Looks like her makeup is applied with one of those T-shirt cannons. It really does kind of look freaky, doesn't it? I think she's had work done. And Robin P. Jack Hole, the VA gave me a drug for restless leg syndrome. I couldn't imagine that this wouldn't be a problem. At least I'm safe with a COVID shot. Pramipexole. That sounds like a rude act. And Stinky Biscuit, why did they do it? To see if airborne spreading of biologicals was a viable form of warfare. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Sea spray back in San Francisco in the 50s, which, again, I don't think they would have any problem doing it now. Now, the government taketh, they also giveth. They are giving $1 million right now. This would be NASA for people who can find an innovative way to feed astronauts in space. You'd think that the people who've been working in space would be able to come up with an innovative way to feed people in space.
I can just see it now. They're like, "What's for dinner?" Oh shit, we got this dried up steak.
Right. No,
crunchy ass ice cream. You got to let it melt. You got to let it swash around in your mouth a little bit.
I love astronaut ice cream.
I do too.
I love the freeze dried.
It's all the freeze dried stuff that they got to take up.
Right.
What are you squeezing out that tube, Bob? Well, that's
this
not broccoli and cheese soup.
But that's not the freeze dried stuff. That's the stuff in a tube. What do? They just grind it all up and they don't freeze dry it. They just stuff it into a tube.
I don't know, but you would have thought they had been working on this for years already.
I mean, how long have we been going to space now? 50, 60 years?
Yeah.
You'd think, we're out of time. I have to tell you about how you can win $1 million for being creative and coming up with a way to feed the astronauts. I know. Quite frankly, I have the perfect way. And I can't believe no one thought of it before. That and more of your Daily Mojo coming up next. Hey, watch this. I'm going to change cameras.
Cameras? Boom.
Watch this. Hold on. No, don't rush me.
Oh, okay.
I have to make it look cool. All right. Now. Look at that. I changed camera angles. And while it's changed, I am undressing. Taking off my pants. Taking off my shirt. It's all coming off. All of it. It's all off. I'm now dancing around the studio. Ouch. That hurts. I shouldn't jump around like that. Should I?
Probably not.
Ow. I keep jumping on it.
administration cut off life-saving monoclonal antibody treatments for coronavirus patients in Florida without a single shred of clinical evidence to back up the move.
We have had people use it, and we've had good results.
And DeSantis vowing a challenge to the Biden action. The ongoing
Don't try to live your life in one day.
in Moscow over Russian troops massing along the borders of Ukraine is drawing fire from our 45th president. Donald Trump says President Biden putting 8,500 American troops on heightened alert for possible rapid deployment overseas is ignoring the border crisis here at home.
We know they eat tang in space. That's true.
But our own borders we don't have. And we had it was the strongest
Tang.
Who doesn't like tang?
Ovaltine.
Who doesn't like tang?
I
right?
remember. Yeah, I remember the commercials about.
You get
tang.
into tang, don't you?
I don't
get into tang. Really? You don't get into tang?
Not unless it
Oh, I
starts with
love me some tang.
boom.
Hey.
Ahead of today's expected Fed announcement on interest rates, Dow futures 313 points, Nasdaq futures ahead 250. More on these stories at townhall.com.
See, now you're singing life in one day.
Thinking about
The what? I'm making 90 the new 50 by 2030.
Great coffee.
What? Okay, this is weird. All right, hang on a second. You need to see this.
you intentionally. I believe. I don't know what you're talking about. No, this is news. This is news. This is news. This is news.
All right, this is kind of weird. Ron, I'm sending it to you, and for the rest of you,
Okay.
Especially given the incredible talent
while I'm naked.
of the U.S. Transportation Department. However, no need to fear these interruptions. You can be prepared. Go to preparewithmojo50.com. That's preparewithmojo50.com.
There it is.
Choosing my region.
All right. Now, choose your region. All right. You see it's the deep space food. Here, I'm switching back. I've put my clothes back on. I've switched back. Good food it's a deep space food challenge. You see that, right?
Yep.
All right. Now scroll down to the bottom of the page.
Okay.
And look who it is administered by.
Really?
The Methuselah.
Methuselah
Now
Foundation.
click on that.
Oh,
how freakish is that? What the?
Okay, wow.
Tomorrow, see this Packham Parabellum.
If we weren't so bad,
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty.
we wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
Let's be frank in PA tweeted, I'm old enough to remember that they announced early on that 40% of common colds are caused by coronaviruses. Yep. And Wade Robertson says, well, we know they eat tang in space. If she's hot, hell, even if she's not, space gets lonely. Abso-damn-lutely. What is Jack Hole Training NCO is not happy. He's responding, I believe he's responding to POTUS. It's the president tweeted yesterday to those who have not been vaccinated yet. Now is the time. Protect yourself and your family. And again, I ask, how does getting vaccinated do that? How does it protect you if you can still get sick? And I know that the stock answer is, well, you don't get as sick. Okay, prove that to me.
I don't think you can anymore. I don't think anybody can prove that anymore.
That's just, that was a nice little, hey, you're not going to get as sick, you're less likely to die. Show me the numbers. And even then, when you show me the numbers, I'm not sure I'm going to believe you because I don't know what I believe anymore because everybody lies. All right, so the $1 million challenge being issued by NASA and also by the Canadian Space Association, I guess is the CSA, is kind of weird. It's weirder than I thought it was going to be. So I tweeted out the link. This is the this is the $1 Million Food Challenge. Join the Deep Space Food Challenge to help bring innovative food production technologies to space and here on Earth. So this is more about, I guess, feeding the masses than just the astronauts. The really weird part, though, came as I scrolled to the bottom of the page, and it said the Deep Space Food Challenge is administered in the United States by the Methuselah Foundation.
Methuselah,
an allied organization of NASA's Centennial Challenges program. All right, so let's click on the Methuselah Foundation. And what we see from the Methuselah Foundation, they are making 90 the new 50 by 2030. We incubate and sponsor mission-relevant ventures, fund research, and support projects and prizes to accelerate breakthroughs in longevity. Want to help? And there are a number of stories here, accelerating new parts for people with a $1 million grant. I've never heard of the Methuselah Foundation. How old was Methuselah? Didn't he live to be 1,000 or something crazy in the Bible?
Yeah.
So he's been around for quite a while. So it's fascinating to me that the Methuselah Foundation is sponsoring the $1 Million Food in Space Challenge. There's more to this story than what meets the eye. By 2030, we changed our strategic goal from extending the healthy human lifespan to making 90 the new 50 by 2030 because we need our mission to be falsifiable and testable. It helps us maintain a daily sense of urgency when making decisions and carrying out our mandate. We believe that no one is a mere statistic. No one dies statistically. We know there is good in trying to decrease suffering by hastening breakthroughs that give us all longer and healthier life. We invite you to join in achieving this monumental goal. This would seem to be at direct odds with Bill Gates. I wonder how Bill Gates feels about the Methuselah Foundation. I'm guessing he's not very happy with them.
Probably not.
Because remember, he's all about, controlling, the aging population. I'm sure that fact check, and you won't find that anywhere. And just look at the ID 2020 program. Anyway, my idea for feeding people efficiently in space, and I don't know why they haven't done this, because I think it's fairly obvious. You simply build a McDonald's restaurant on board the space station.
$15 an hour. That's what it.
You pay the astronauts $15 an hour to work at McDonald's. Now, there's no guarantee the shake machine will work
at all.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that is did I mention what the thing was with the shake machine? That the McDonald's it had to be proprietary. That the people who worked on it had to be the company that made it, etc. And there was a lawsuit. That's why the McDonald's shake machines were always down. Because it was the company that made them required that only they work on them, and there weren't enough techs. And now they've, I guess, widened the scope of people who can work on the McDonald's shake machines, but the damn things are still broken. So I think that conspiracy, I think, goes deeper than we know as well. They're all out to get us.
Entirely possible, because I can go to Dairy Queen on any given day and they've got shakes.
Right, or Arby's, which has fabulous vanilla shakes.
Really?
Oh,
never gotten a shake at Arby's.
Oh, you have to get one. You will have to get a mortgage on your house because shit ain't cheap.
Started to say, what the hell was that?
I don't know what that was.
That was some weird shit.
That was some sort of a cross pollination on YouTube. Actually, I didn't hear anything wrong. I don't know what you were hearing, Ron. It is Earworm Wednesday here on the Daily Mojo, otherwise known as the day that they censor us on YouTube and Facebook and just about anywhere else that they can censor us. But that's just that's the way we roll. There is a man by the name of Scott Miller. He is a physician assistant, PA, up in Washington. He has, according to this story over at the Gateway Pundit, saved the lives of nearly 2,000 COVID patients who were refused adequate medications in hospitals. He is unable to legally practice medicine for the foreseeable future. He and numerous medical experts contend hospitalized COVID patients are not actually dying from the virus, but are essentially being held hostage once admitted, prohibited visitation, or going home, and are typically administered remdesivir and intubated to death. Remember, we heard the nurse yesterday from the Ron Johnson panel up in Congress?
Yeah.
Say she hadn't seen anybody die of COVID. It's the they were essentially given things like remdesivir and intubation, which were not
all the complications of being sick. Yeah.
Guidelines ushered in by the CDC during the manufactured coronavirus pandemic bar medical practitioners from administering treatment for pneumonia, respiratory illness, and other symptoms of COVID infection. As family members of those hospitalized with COVID received notice from hospitals informing them that their loved ones were becoming critically ill and would be intubated, a procedure that kills the majority of those who undergo the surgery, they reached out to Miller for assistance. Now, while advocating for hospitalized COVID patients, the PA has argued with countless doctors to do the right thing and treat symptoms of the virus as they had prior to the pandemic, rather than adhering to the CDC's lethal protocols. And again, if I hadn't seen this myself, I wouldn't have believed it.
You know, I actually physically went and looked up, can you legally leave a hospital? And yes, you can. I didn't know that. But there are so many different hindrances. Insurance doesn't pay, blah, 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 about leaving a hospital without being discharged.
Yes.
I didn't know. I mean, you mentioned it to me on the phone that day that you were getting ready to leave, and I thought, can you leave a hospital?
When you asked me that, I was like, hell yes. And but what happens is, first of all, you sit there and you feel like, wait a minute, because you are so used to all your life, following protocols.
Correct. Yeah.
I can't leave until they, tell me I can leave. And then you realize, what the hell am I thinking? Of course I can leave. I'm going to put on my clothes and I'm going to walk out the front door. But yeah, they can get you with the paperwork because they, and I'm trying to remember what the hell I signed. I don't know. Did I sign anything? Because it was the nurse, who got me out of there. Yeah. He was like, here, come on, I'll get you to the front door. And it felt like escaping from Alcatraz, because I didn't stop at the nurse's station or do any of that. It was like, here, we'll go this way. We'll go down and pretty soon we were out in the lobby, and he was like, all right, good luck. And he takes off.
Wow.
Generally, they'll put you in like a wheelchair
and push you out to the
car. Push you out the door. I was just hoofing it. And it was a weird experience. It was like escaping prison.
So you didn't have to go through a discharge process.
Nope.
The nurse came and got you and said, let's go.
Let's go. Because
and he or she probably saved your life.
Could have. Now I will say this, that staying in the hospital for those days that I did was a very good thing, in that they were giving me the antibiotics and the steroids, which
and you had better oxygen than what you could get at home.
No, oxygen is oxygen.
I mean higher pressure. Isn't that what Dr. X-Ray said, that you can only get like 30% oxygen outside the hospital, but they were giving you 100% or 70% or something like that?
What did he say? Because you probably remember that better than I do.
It would be Beth that would know that better. But I mean, literally, I thought there was something about the oxygen that you couldn't get outside the hospital.
Yeah, because I was fortunate. I had Dr. X-ray and Dr. Peter McCullough.
Yeah.
On my behind the scenes team.
Correct. Yeah.
Telling Beth and me what was good for me, and suggesting that okay, it's better that he stay there right now as long as they're not giving him remdesivir, but the other stuff was good. Now the oxygen thing, I don't know. Did he? He said it was they run the oxygen through liquid or something, cooled or.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I thought it was just as much a percentage of oxygen that you can't get outside the hospital.
I'm not sure about that. I kind of was under the impression oxygen was oxygen. But they say, love is like oxygen.
True.
You get too much.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, well, here's the thing. They had to have known they were discharging you or you wouldn't have gotten the oxygen to take with you. Right?
I'm being told the oxygen in the hospital is hydrated and more going into my system.
Gotcha.
That's what I've been
which
told.
Which you can't get outside the hospital. Can't get at home.
And yet I have oxygen here.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying. I've got, and now that I've learned that, even if you have a hangover, that it's a good thing.
You can use it. Yeah.
You can use it.
They have oxygen bars in Las Vegas all over the place.
That's true. And they have all those little colorful blue vials and everything. And I always thought that was a bunch of crap.
I did too.
Now I'm like, wait a minute.
But if you wake up with a hangover, evidently.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I wonder how much one of these tanks costs
fire
to
you
just
back
keep
up.
around.
Yeah.
This was Dr. Peter McCullough as he was discussing the.
Here goes YouTube.
Yeah. If everything else this morning hasn't gotten us, Dr. Peter McCullough will. He's the chief medical advisor for the Truth for Health Foundation at Ron Johnson, the senator's second opinion conference that was taking place in D.C. on Monday as he's talking to Eric Bolling.
On the Lincoln Memorial, and Americans heard that the vaccines are not working, they're not sufficiently effective, and they're not sufficiently safe to mandate, and the mandate should be dropped immediately. Today, in the U.S. Senate, special panel led by Senator Ron Johnson, a second opinion on COVID-19. And what Americans heard is we needed a second opinion on the effectiveness of early treatment and how early treatment could have and still will prevent hospitalizations and death, but needs to be widely employed, and there should be no barriers to doctors using their best judgment on early treatment. We also heard about tragedies on inpatient care, where inpatient care is not optimal, it's not sufficiently effective, and it's not broadly using all the drugs in the right doses at the right time in the right patients. And then finally, we turned our attention to vaccine safety and efficacy.
And the amazing thing, and I'll tweet out the link to this. It's over on Rumble. Just the name of the conference, Second Opinion. Remember when getting a second opinion was a good thing?
It was what they was what was recommended, right? Most doctors would say, "Look, you've got we found that you've got cancer. It's in your pancreas. It's blah blah blah.
Right.
We encourage you to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Or you left the office and immediately did that, right? Now, if you try to seek a second opinion,
yeah, you are anti-American. You are fake science. You are everything that is bad with the universe, and you need to be destroyed and censored or worse. It's weird how they've just destroyed that time-honored tradition of getting a second opinion. I mean, we have, over the course of the past 2 years, would you call it a slow walk into socialism? I mean, we've become so used to this stuff that there are a number of people out there in the country who just, all right, fine. Yeah, if this is the way it's going to be, okay. Which is really scary. Really scary. Which means the rest of us have to fight that much harder. Well, now I'm having a renewed appreciation for the patriots who fought during the Revolutionary War. I mean, you think it's tough now. Think about how tough it was then. They didn't have all the ways to communicate that we do now. And
True.
They didn't have all of the modern conveniences, which would have made things a lot easier. But they were fighting the same stupidity. They were fighting the same ignorance. They were fighting the same people who just, okay, you know what? I'm comfortable. Do we have to do this? Yeah. I mean, if you want to keep your freedom, yeah, we got to do this. It's really weird what we're going through right now. And fighting this fight it's a pain in the ass. It would be so much easier just to go in and watch Netflix and not worry, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, having to pay attention to
watch Netflix and chill.
No kidding. Which, by the way, Ozark, so good.
You know, I watched the first couple of seasons of that, then I lost track of it.
You're a communist.
That's
obvious. You are a communist. More of Dr. Peter McCullough here.
You know, Dr. McCullough, it's really important. I think America is really wants to hear exactly what you're saying, and also you were joined by Dr. Pierre Corey, who's been a friend of the show. He's standing by to come on just after you. Dr. Malone as well. Very important voices. You know, but part of what happens, look at YouTube, look at some of the mainstream media, social media tends to call this whole push for therapeutics conspiracy theory. What's your response to that?
The push for therapeutics is what Americans want. It's clear that hospitalization and death is a failure of application of early and effective treatment. And so it's not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's basically the lack of good clinical practice that's led patients to be hospitalized, and unfortunately many have died. So I can tell you at this point in time, we have the full breadth of drugs, including EUA monoclonal antibodies. We have oral antivirals, including two EUA antivirals, corticosteroids, anti-inflammatory, anticoagulant drugs. There's a golden period of time in high-risk people, and it's the first 72 hours of the illness.
And that's the thing, is that you got to get to it quickly. That's the other thing with remdesivir. Again, they say that it's only good, the first 3 or 4 days, 5 days of infection.
Yeah, but, I started to say, but doesn't it take 5 days to give that to your remdesivir?
Well, it does, but I mean, you have to start the treatment within 4 or 5 days, which again goes back to my stay in the hospital where they never tested me for COVID and yet kept offering me remdesivir. Well, if you've never tested me for it, how do you A, know that I have it, and B, how do you know that you're within the first 3, 4, 5 days of infection?
Yeah.
And yet they still wanted to ram remdesivir down my throat, which would, I think, have been very impolite, quite frankly. Dangerous, I mean, some people may have said. One thing I did miss while I was in the hospital, I did miss my pillow. I had my slippers, but I didn't have my pillow.
Did you wear them to the hospital?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
The only thing I wore, I had a pair of shorts, I had a T-shirt, and I had my slippers. That was it. That's what I walked into the hospital with. And let me just tell you, I was happy to have my slippers, because they were just, it was a comfort thing. And by the way, the first thing they did when they put me in one of the rooms, they took my shirt. They took my shirt,
your shirt
and stuck me in one of those stupid gowns. Oh. You know, the ones that show your butt.
Unless you put it on backwards.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
He's like,
but then other stuff would show. I tell you what, next time and I hope there's never a next time, because I don't ever want to see the inside of a hospital again. A couple of the roll and go anywhere pillows, those would be perfect in a hospital bed. You got a couple of those. You can place them in strategic locations. You are good to go. There is a special right now over at mypillow.com. If you click on radio listener specials and you use the promo code Mojo50, you will find the original MyPillow. The standard classic is just $19.98. That is less than $20. Less than $20. So go to mypillow.com, get you some comfort, because that's really what it's all about when you when you put on the My Slippers, you'll see what I'm talking about. They're just, and don't you have a pair on?
I have the slippers and the robe, yes.
Hold on a minute. You've got the slippers and the robe?
Yes.
Huh.
What do you mean, hold on a minute?
I wonder. I mean, I just...
You don't have the robe? Nope. Oh, the robe is phenomenal. It's like a heavy towel.
Wow.
Oh,
I have the towels.
Yeah, I don't have the towels. And I don't have the pillow.
You don't have a My Pillow pillow?
I don't have a My
How the hell
Pillow
do you sleep at night?
On a regular junkie pillow, I guess.
I sleep on a pillowcase full of rocks.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And
that's what it feels like.
There's some broken glass in there, too. I'm fairly certain. Every time I put my head back down on the pillow, I hear glass breaking. So you've got the robe, too.
I got the robe, yeah.
Be damn. Ain't that something? You know, it's funny because now I have the roll and go pillow. I have to start bitching about not having
Actually, I
something
think I got a set of the sheets, too. The
we
Egyptian
certainly know.
cotton.
Well, we now know who rates around here.
That's not true. I mean, somebody asked me if I wanted those when I...
It's funny. Nobody asked me if I wanted those.
I'm pretty sure you got asked.
No, I don't think so, but there will be a discussion now. I keep upping the ante here on the Let's Get Banned. Because doesn't Madonna just,
That's a good song.
It's a damn good song. And I was one of the first people in the world to say that when Holiday came out, the first song she did, I think, I said, this woman is going to be, she's going to be a superstar. And look.
You know how long she's been singing?
A long, long time.
Almost 30 years.
It's been longer than that.
Has it?
It's been almost 40 years.
40? Almost 40?
Because it was early 80s.
Yeah.
So here we go. It's 40 years. It's been a long...
I just got a text message.
I'll bet you did.
The Daily Mojo.
What's it say?
He was asked. He said no to the robe.
I did not say no to that. Prove it. Prove it.
He said no to the robe.
I don't believe I said no to the robe. Nobody says no to the robe. I don't believe, but you can believe whatever you want to in your little fantasy world. B from the SAV over on the Twitters. Throwback. This was from 2009. It's been a long, slow train for quite a while. It's the cover of Newsweek. We are all socialists now.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't say that I argue with him. I think we're there. Now, how do we turn the damn clock back? Is that possible? I hope so. Otherwise, we are screwed. All right. Now, we do have a guest coming up next.
Supposed to, yes.
Supposed to. If he hasn't overslept, the beautiful and talented Brandon Morse coming up on your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas.
Clear.
That.
No, it's garbage. Didn't you hear that's garbage?
I did hear that.
Tin Can Radio. Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Mojo 50 or anytime on
Tin
the
Can Radio.
app.
Supply chain disruptions, shortages, panic buying. Unfortunately, they've all become facts of life in 2021. The good news is you have preparewithmojo50.com as a hedge against all the craziness. At preparewithmojo50.com, not only will you find emergency food supplies.
Remember when that seemed like
Holy
a strange conspiracy theory thing to do?
Not so much anymore, right? Not only will you find the emergency food supply, but also water filtration, air filtration, all sorts of other tools that you can use in the event of
When you see that picture of Leah Thomas,
or emergency.
she's huge.
Every day that goes by seems more and more likely. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Prepare with
Why is Paul Newman trending?
If you want to keep food on the table, if you just
I don't know.
maintain some sense of normalcy, prepare with
He can't be number 3.
is the answer. Prepare with Mojo 50.
No, because he's already dead. Kobe Bryant it's been 2 years.
Yeah, I've got Brandon.
Wow. It has been 2 years since Kobe Bryant died.
What up, Brandon?
Hey, guys.
Hey, good morning. We're back in 8 seconds. Stand with us.
You just wake up?
Right on.
A pretty morning face.
The Daily Mojo.
Let's see anything good. Pickled squirrel. My body can't go with the flow. It's too cold. There's no flow this morning. Summer is coming, and we'll all be bitching about it being too hot very, very soon.
Yep.
All right, so on the line right now is, of course, the lovely and talented Brandon Morse from Red State, from Twitch, and from your new program on, is it on Red State or is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Brandon Morse Live.
Brandon Morse Live, because Brandon Morse Dead just didn't seem to flow the same way. But by the way, speaking of dead, it has been now 2 years since
I
Kobe
might
Bryant
change
died.
it because that actually sounds funny. I like that. That actually makes me laugh.
You know, it would be different. It would.
It would be. No one's going that direction.
You get some attention. That's the beauty of it. You have several things over on. And I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the tweet, and this is an old tweet of yours from December 7th last year. Hats off to Leah Thomas for breaking all the records in women's swimming competitions. She's huge. She is a big girl.
I really wish that we could know, what it is that she's doing to make herself so successful in sports.
Right.
It's because if she does, she needs to send. Well, maybe, maybe it's a lot of, maybe she's
stretching,
eating Miracle Grow. I don't know. But I feel like she should spread that knowledge around to the team so that they also can be so big and powerful and, capable of defeating other women by leagues.
That is a great idea. The Leah Thomas method for outdoing the competition.
Yeah,
and
I think it would revolutionize sports as we know it.
Yeah, whether it's an exercise regimen or in fact the high protein diet, whatever it is, share the magic and let some others have a shot at the glory that you've been able to achieve. The I think it was the Coaches Association this morning. I retweeted it because the CSCAA, whatever the hell that is, they put out a tweet that they stood with the Ivy League, the University of Pennsylvania, and Penn Athletics in support of Leah Thomas' right to compete. We further condemn the hatred that has been directed at Ms. Thomas and feel it has no place in the sport of swimming and diving. So,
right.
Do you know what the hell they're talking about?
Yeah, it's basically, hey, we know we're doing wrong, but we're going to pretend like everyone else is the bad guy here so that we can keep continuing to win competitions and break records and put those up on our board. Like we're the ones who are raising these athletes. For those of you who don't know what's really happening, Leah Thomas is a dude.
What?
Yep. Used to have a penis.
Penis
from what I
involved?
understand, I think a penis is still involved, actually. And she, quote unquote, basically took some hormones, grew out hair, and started putting on women's clothing, and like some Monty Python skit, is now walking around as a woman and winning all these competitions. Have you guys ever thought about how this whole transgender thing would actually be kind of funny if it weren't for the fact that it was real? Like a Monty Python skit? Because it kind of is a Monty Python skit.
Yes. It's the parrot's dead. This parrot's dead. No, it's not. His parrot's not dead. It's like, it'd be the same thing. That's a dude. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, look at the penis right there. It's a penis right there. No, it's not. That's not a penis. Its
penis is huge. No, it's not. It's a very large vagina.
Oh, good Lord.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So, but like apparently the coach of the swim team is very obsessed with winning, and there's no possible way an Ivy League college is going to go unwoke. So with that in mind, you've got people like Leah Thomas on the swim team breaking records, and everyone's supposed to be applauding it and acting like this is the greatest thing ever. Her, quote, unquote, teammates, however, they're also, outwardly like, oh, yeah, this is great, but secretly and to the press, anonymously, they are not happy, nor should they be.
Well,
because Thomas is basically...
they want to add a spot to the team. I mean, they're doing something crazy. So I guess the bottom line is when I read this and I couldn't understand it, you just backed me up on it. I wasn't reading the bullshit. I was trying to make sense of it. But they want to add another position to the team so that there can be another woman on the team. It's a one-time expansion of the slot numbers, follows the NCAA Board of Governors decision to adopt a sport-by-sport approach. So they want to add another spot to the team so that they can have another woman on the team or have Leah on the team. I still can't make heads or tails of why they want to do what they want to do.
I haven't heard of that. I'll have to look into it. All I know is that right now, Leah Thomas is supposed to be, the toast of the town and being celebrated as this, not because, of the, brave and beautiful and stunning and yada, 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 but because she, quote unquote, is breaking all of these records, and it's astounding. No one in the sport has ever done this before. Oh my God. And the amount of anger that is actually coming from everyone else, is more stunning in my opinion, and nothing is being done about it. These women, according to them, feel like they're third-class citizens right now because they can't really say anything about it. They have to shut up, which is really funny. Because if you look back, you had the modern feminist movement and the intersectionalism that brought in the LGBT, all that stuff into one umbrella, or under one umbrella. It's all supposed to be for the empowerment of women, but here we have women being completely depowered and sidelined. Which is,
by a dude.
By a dude, yeah. Proving that, no matter what, dudes are better. But that's beside the point. The issue here is that, women are not, they're being put down, they're being told to shut up, they're being told that they're second class.
Right.
Compared to this person, this dude who can just claim to be a woman despite never having earned being able to say that he's a woman. And then competing in their sport, taking their awards, their accolades, their glory. Can you imagine being a girl from a young age who worked very, very hard to be perfect at your sport? Let's say you go to the Olympics. That's your dream, and you work every single day. Okay, very few breaks. You dedicate a lot of time to this, and then out of nowhere, when you are at the peak of your ability, some dude comes in and says, "Oh, I'm a girl too," and then beats the crap out of you in every single sport that you try to excel at, and you get left behind because no one's willing to stand up and go, "Hey, that's a penis right there." I mean, it's insulting.
I've seen one of those. That is a penis.
I know what that looks like.
I've seen one. I'm fairly certain that's a penis right there. No, you're right. It all plays out like a really bad Monty Python sketch with devastating consequences for women.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're the sexists. We're the evil people because we're quote unquote intolerant. Yeah, I am intolerant. I'm just going to come out and say that I am very intolerant, and I think that this needs to be reined in. I think that women need to be given their spaces back, just like men do. Mm-hmm. I think that this whole gender fluid lunacy has gone too far. You've got, and it's actually hurting like real people too, and including children. You have schools that are trying to force this nonsense on children, and if you look at transgender children's suicide rates, they're abnormally high, especially in the teenage years. Which is weird or not weird, but it's tragic because you already have a very high suicide rate in the transgender community as it is. I believe it's somewhere around 40%. And it only goes up if you're a teenager. It goes up even further, like way further, if you actually have transition surgeries. And then on top of that, you've got this. Oh God, I completely forgot what I was going to say live on air.
Well,
quick, say something.
While you're thinking of that, you brought up a good point. You're intolerant, and I used to be the most tolerant person you'd ever meet. Nothing bothered me. And you could do whatever the hell you wanted, but there was always that caveat: as long as you don't step on, my rights, or if you stay out of my no-no square. And that's why that's why I think I've become intolerant, because they've stepped all over my rights and the rights of other people, and they have stepped all over my no-no square, which pisses me off. And it's the fact that they're hurting other people with their particular brand of horseshit. Now, again, if we want to just have, let's take swimming, for example: men swimming, women swimming, transgender men swimming, transgender women swimming. I'm totally fine with that. Let's compare apples to apples. But they don't want to do that. Yeah. They want to get in here and show that. I'm not even sure what it is the hell that they want to show, because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either. It doesn't make sense as a competition. Right. It doesn't make sense as a sport. Like, it's okay. Well, clearly, this is a man, and men have denser bone structures. They have denser muscle structures. They have more lung capacity, and just claiming you're a woman doesn't suddenly take those away. So you're basically going in, to a gunfight with a bomb.
Right.
Like you're gonna beat these women.
Like an ugly redheaded stepchild.
Exactly. By the way, I remembered what I was going to say. The Loudoun County issue. I don't know if y'all heard this or remember it, but it wasn't that long ago when the transgender issue became so bad in Virginia's Loudoun County that a transgender boy effectively raped a girl.
Yep.
In school.
In a
school. Yep. And they tried to cover it up. They didn't. The parents came in there and they raised a stink. The father, I believe, got arrested.
Yep.
For trying to tell the school board at this school board meeting. Got arrested for his anger over it, which I think, dude, we hear him out. But they tried to cover it up, and that's part of why Virginia was lost to Republicans. Republicans basically promised that this is all going to stop, and Glenn Youngkin, God bless him, is actually taking his first steps in doing that. But it just
also
goes to
have
show you
written
how
about
far
over
it's
on
gone.
Red State.
Yes, I have. That's also up at Red State right now. Glenn Youngkin's first steps.
Yeah, to protect
first article on
children.
my list.
Yeah, and
protect the children.
And it's funny because he's actually doing something to protect the children. And I don't know if you heard Nancy Pelosi's video announcing her re-election campaign, but everything she is doing, she's doing for the children. Why?
Okay.
It doesn't sound like you
Which
believe
children?
her either. All
I got really mad about this whole for the children thing that the left does, and I talked about this on my last Brandon Morse Live, which you can go watch on my YouTube channel right now. Whoopi Goldberg said, because Bill Maher had made a kind of a serious joke about how ridiculous it's gotten with all the COVID restrictions and lockdown measures and stuff. And Whoopi Goldberg immediately came back and goes, that's not funny to people who have watched their children die.
From the vaccine. From the vaccine,
yeah.
she said.
Oh, yeah, she did say that. I think that was a neat little Freudian slip. But
oops.
It's just, I hate this for the children thing. The left does not care about your children. If they did care about your children, they would understand that a lot of the lockdown measures that they've been putting forward have been damaging children left and right. I see article after article about it. They're continuously pushing this gender fluid nonsense on them when it has been proven to be a huge cause of depression and suicide. Okay. They've been trying to push vaccines on them that they don't need. As it's been proven that, children suffer the least from the virus, especially this Omicron variant, which it hardly even affects adults. So I don't know, guys.
Hold on
I
a
feel
second.
like
Hang on. I mean, I want you to hear something because I want you to hear the sincerity in her voice. Listen.
When people ask me what are the three most important issues facing the Congress, I always say the same thing. Our children, our children, our children.
I don't know. I'm not sure if you could say it any creepier than that. Our children, our children,
our children, not children. If you would just please bring them back to my house made of lollipops and graham crackers.
Oh, she'll eat the hell out of the kids. She will just eat them up. She will swallow them probably whole without chewing. It's
exactly.
I mean, her refrigerators, all that ice cream in the bottom, that was just a front. If you lift up the fake cover that is the ice cream, you'll find children in her freezer. I don't think that's hyperbole by any stretch. I mean, she's just that creepy.
She is that creepy. She is that. I think she's artificially keeping her skin,
she's
intact.
81. Is she 80 or 81? Neil Diamond's 81. She might be 80.
81,000. It's just she's been around for a while.
Why do we keep, in this case, why do they keep electing her out there in San Francisco? How about some fresh blood?
I actually wonder about that because I swear at this point in time that enough people have gotten angry with Pelosi that you'd at least figure a divided Democrat vote, especially from the hard left, which continues to plague her. They do not like her there. And so I have to wonder if this is actually legit. I do know that Nancy Pelosi is incredibly wealthy and has gotten very wealthy since she took office. She's, right now they're trying to pass
It's just a coincidence. It has nothing to do with insider trading.
Right, exactly, which they're trying to stop in Congress right now. And that article is also up at Red State. And she has been so far resistant to it. So you got to wonder why. I'm pretty sure some of that money is being used to help keep her in office, which then she can use to manipulate markets, which then she can use to get more money. So, Nancy Pelosi is as corrupt as they come, and now she wants to eat the children. So.
You're such a skeptic. She just wants to help the children. I don't understand why you cannot just
into her freezer.
Why? Right, exactly. I just don't understand why you can't. When again, and just to let it sink in.
When people ask me what are the three most important issues facing the Congress, I always say the same thing: our children, our children, our children.
And when you see her, when you see the way she's saying it, it's even creepier. I mean, and I'm fairly certain that the brooch that she's wearing on her jacket is some sort of a demon. It's
the gem that she uses to channel the underworld.
It's really
that's what it is.
I mean, it's beyond creepy. All right, so tell us. Let's see, today's Wednesday. So your show again on YouTube on Friday is. Do you know what the subject matter will be on Friday now, or is it just a?
Not as per the usual. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about until that day.
Until it just.
And oftentimes, like the magic of this kind of show is that it's not a radio show kind of format. Like I am going to be talking, of course, but it's very interactive with chat, very interactive. So somebody might bring up something and cause me to get stunned locked on like a different issue than I intended to talk about. I can look up stuff right there in the moment, with you guys. We can watch videos together if y'all suggest one. It's just like it's very chat driven. So. Come to the live stream. If you've ever been to my Twitch streams, Brad, you tried. You decided
to cancel it.
One time.
Wow.
One time you tried, and you never tried again.
5 guys
we have people
fries.
in chat going, "Where's Brad? Where's Brad?"
I bought the fries. I tried the fries. I was going to talk about the fries, and you decide.
You still can. You can come to the chat and talk about the fries.
I'm still dealing with the ramifications of that day that I felt so rejected. Do you know my therapist bill for just that day for being rejected it was a lot. It was a lot.
Shut up, Brad. Go join a women's swim team.
So it's going to be.
So there it is.
I would do that. Do I get to change in the same dressing area?
It'd be weird if you didn't.
Yeah, I think so too. then I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. All right. So I'm curious though, how when you're doing this, if you discuss things like I'm assuming it's controversial topics, how do you keep from getting shut down by YouTube?
Well, that's right now. I'm small enough that they haven't really paid too much attention to me. But I'm pretty sure, and I've mentioned it even yesterday. I mentioned on stream after I started talking about COVID. I was like, "This is going to get me canceled by YouTube if they ever find me."
Well, yeah,
they probably will shut me down.
We're just back from a 2-week suspension, so
yeah.
The goal or the hope is that by the time that happens, Rumble will have created their own live stream content platform.
All right. So you're having trouble with the live stream of Rumble as well. I mean, it's not
exactly ironed out, but I feel like if they actually got their stuff together on it, they would actually have a very vibrant platform for chat interactive live streams. Because there needs to be a free speech platform for that, and I wouldn't mind moving to Rumble. Frankly, Rumble pays more, so they free speech and more money. I can't turn that down. But they have to iron this out and focus more on it.
We're working on it, and they've got some new packages at Rumble that we still can't figure out if you can live stream and have the video that you've just live streamed stick. That's been the problem, is that once you've done the live stream, the video just goes
away, and then you have to upload it.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, the process is a little bizarre.
They still got a lot to do in terms of ironing out their tech, but technically they're still a baby site. We gotta give them a minute.
Right.
But once they do have that ironed out, I will happily transfer to Rumble for this show.
Okay.
Because
same here,
people. Yeah, same. But people need to be able to say what they want without having to worry too much about it. But in any case, in the meantime, YouTube, be Brandon Morse, or Brandon Morse Live. And, I'll see you there on Friday.
And at Red State as well. And tomorrow night, again, you'll be on Twitch. That's tomorrow night, right?
I'm off tomorrow night. Because I have a little family gathering.
I have cleared my schedule for tomorrow night.
You did not. You're such a liar.
Why did I clear my schedule?
You're such a liar.
My schedule tomorrow night is clear just for that. And look what
your
you
schedule
do to me.
Was clear already.
Will you just admit to people that you go to bed at like 6?
You know what? That's not funny because I last night went to bed at 6. It may have been 6:30, but it was it's very close to 6. So, you know what? You'll find out what being old is like someday. You will find out.
I know, but I'm not there yet. So in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my time as a
and we'll all
vibrant young man.
When you do it, we will all laugh at you. All right.
You'll be dead.
I'm close. A good point. Believe me, I'm close to it now. The Brandon Morse on the Twitter, Red State, the Brandon Morse Live, Not Dead show over on YouTube, and would have been on Twitch tomorrow night, but he won't be.
He won't
fine.
be.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Well, we'll talk to you. Talk to you next time.
Thank the Lord for the night time to forget the day. The day of uptight time, I'll maybe chase it away. I get a relaxation.
81 years old today, Neil Diamond.
I thank the Lord for the night time.
And Ron, I thank the Lord for you.
I thank the Lord for you.
Isn't that sweet? All right, now. Love me some early Neil Diamond. Nothing like it.
That will definitely get us hammered.
You know what? They can hammer the hell away at us. I don't care anymore. Go to preparewithmojo50.com right now before you do anything else and get your emergency food supply. You can save $50. Make you holla right now at preparewithmojo50. And then once you have that in your cart, look up the Pocket Plasma Lighter.
The Pocket Plasma Lighter.
The Pocket Plasma Lighter, because it is really cool. It also has a flashlight. It starts fires instantly. I mean, you could be the talk of your neighborhood. You could just run around starting fires if you wanted to. I mean, because it's plasma, and it's also a flashlight. I mean, it's really cool. It's the Instafire is, I think, the brand, and this thing is just badass.
I'm looking at one called Ready Wise. dual arc plasma lighter and flashlight.
Is that not
What?
just? I know. I'm telling you, it's cool. They've got some really cool tools over. Of course, it's My Patriot Supply, but start at preparewithmojo50.com because that way we get a little piece, and we like a little piece. It's how we, make a buck, and it's how you get prepared for the apocalypse, which is eventually going to happen. I mean, just look around. The insanity that is the world today. You think it's all just going to go back to normal without some sort of a cataclysmic event? I mean, do you think we're getting out of this unscathed? I don't either.
No. There's going to be an event.
There will be something.
Whether it is Patriots or something, there's going to be an event. That has to be.
And we have the advantage
to shake us completely out of this crap.
Because it's not just gonna end. We're going to have to be the ones that end it, and it ain't gonna be easy. And I'm not just talking big. But get your flashlight, get your plasma lighter and flashlight. Get it now. Matter of fact, buy 2 of them.
Yeah.
Look at the reviews. It's got all the reviews are 5-star.
$25 or something.
Yeah. I mean, you can afford that. Climb off the cash there, money bags. Get 2 or 3 of them. Go to preparewithmojo50.com and get you some today.
Come on.
What do you mean it's let's go?
Tight,
man.
like a tiger. I'm telling you, you couldn't slip anything in there, could you? Not a damn thing. The end of 2 hours known as your Daily Mojo for Wednesday. Good Lord, it is the 26th of January, the year of our Lord 2022. Did lessons stick? Are they sticky? Let's find out. We head over to the Twitter. The Knights Who Say Knee. Michael Jackson's main focus was also the children. The children. Thank you, it's the children. She is just creepy as hell. She really is. Feliz Navizak. 2 years ago today, Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter he bought in order to avoid the homeless on the ground instead of using his money fame to build affordable housing for the city that gave him the wealth and guaranteed generational wealth for his family.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
Anger much?
Wow. Holy crap. All right. Oblivion flickering. Does anybody else notice that Nancy Pelosi puts on a cute little girl voice to convey sincerity? It is, when you look at her, it's creepy the way she speaks. It's very affected.
I wonder if it affects her great-grandkids like that.
Oh.
Because she got.
And, nothing wrong with false teeth, but get some new Polygrip. Just saying.
Polygrip.
Because it looks like they're about to fall out of her face. And that's just, and then all you're focused on is, are her teeth going to fall out of that big hole? And that's all you focus on. And you miss the message. Original Georgia Peach, I learned that this world is doomed. Do I have to work on my upbeatedness?
Upbeatedness.
Do I have to work on maybe being not so doom and gloom? Do I? I mean, be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Okay. Oblivion flickering. I heard that as a side effect, the COVID vaccine will cure fidgety penis syndrome. He wrote that just to see if I'd read it. And Aaron Barker says, your biological sex, based on how God created you, male or female gender, is a word used by liberals to decipher how you feel about your biological sex. I thought we were supposed to trust the science. All right. And coming up over most of these Mojo 50 radio stations, it's the encore presentation of Abnormal Realities, which is now pretty much known as reality. It's Ron and his
Abnormal
friend
Realities. We have an encore of the Doc Skinner program from last week.
You Skinner. You Brunger, you Skinner. Remember, we Patriots, we the people, must hang together. Otherwise, we most assuredly will hang separately. 6 separate Tyrannas, resist stupid, and good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
Bell count in your future. Stick around.
Clear.
I thought you had to run somewhere.
No.
Are you sure?
Wednesday.
You sure you don't have to run somewhere?
Okay. I'll see.
I don't know. Don't go anywhere. I was just asking whether I thought maybe you did, but I was probably wrong. All right. Look who ran through the door. He's hopping up on the table, and here he is at the microphone.
Good morning, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with the bell count for the Daily Mojo. Earworm Wednesday, January 26, 2022. Today there were no missed innuendo bells, 2 actual bells, and an oh my gosh. Peace out, boys. Stay healthy. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Or will you? That is the question. Will Monica meet Dan and have his baby? We'll find out next week. I just wanted to see if I could time that
Mystique.
out.
Mystique.
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 What I call my wife periodically.
Oh,
Mystique.
Isn't that sweet?
It's also call her Mustafa.
Call her Mustafa?
Yeah.
Anything you guys have kinky little games, don't you? You play kinky games. Admit it. You're married. It's okay.
Let's see.
Tell us. Just tell us one of them. Tell us one of your.
I'm not. No, I'm not going to.
Do you put on? Do you still have that little midget suit you put on?
I do not.
You got rid of it? didn't fit into it anymore. It's a noun.
Mystique.
It is a framework of. Really? Okay, this is not what I thought the definition of
mystique
would be. A framework of doctrines, ideas, beliefs, or the like, constructed around a person or object, endowing the person or object with enhanced value or profound meaning.
Mystique.
That's kind of what we do to ourselves in branding, isn't it? Wouldn't that be another word for branding?
Probably.
I would think it would be. All right. Well, if that's all you've got to say,
that's it. Love y'all.
That is a wrap.
Are we done?
Think so.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
But.
All right. Bye, all. And